Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Well, this defense for the Chargers, they played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
They'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. Trying to bounce it outside, but he's only able to get it back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. So 7 yards from the 1st down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Throwing is Tagovailoa on 3rd down here. Now he'll dump it underneath to his... Puts it on the carpet. It's out. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
All I can say about this play is that someone's living right. I mean, he's trying to gain yardage, trying to get upfield. Ball comes free. What's that panic that we've talked about oftentimes that you feel when you lose the ball?
You can sense it.
Oh, you can sense it. And somehow he got to it and was able to recover it for his squad.
Setting to throw on 1st down is Tua. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere. And they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well. And that's what they just did on that play.
Tua now on 1st down. And he'll throw this one away. But I don't think he was out of the pocket. No, here comes the flag. We saw it, too. Nobody in the vicinity of that throw, and that earns him the penalty.
Yeah, you got to at least get it close enough to one of your own guys in order to dodge the penalty.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long. Tua sets up to pass it. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And again, it's Tagovailoa. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football. And this, Charles, definitely not what they were wanting to see. Remember, he threw 3 interceptions in the loss last week, and now he gives the ball away again here in the very first quarter.
And you have to think that this was drilled into him all week, too, by his teammates, by his coaching staff. They've told him all week long, we've got to protect the football. They probably crossed that fine line with giving him the right advice and saying it too much. And it turned out that it got into his head a little bit.
Running on 1st down, Ekeler. Oh, a great effort there. He's going to get this inside the 15, and they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Nice run. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Charger first. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Off the play fake to Ekeler, it's Herbert. Over the middle, and it's caught. Keenan Allen. Touchdown! Keenan Allen from 13 yards out. And the Chargers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. But not only, Charles, did he beat double coverage to make the catch, and then as soon as he did, locked his gaze upfield and made sure to reach the end zone.
Go grab your dictionary, partner. Look up determination, and his picture is going to pop right up. How about him getting through multiple defenders, finding his way through coverage, and making sure he got to the end zone? That's a big-time play right there.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. Hill going to sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game? End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain, so you can use that to set up your play-action game, or you can come right back and continue to run the football because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls.
He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Here's Gaskin. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Not a lot of running room there, not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football.
And I think this is a situation where a quarterback coach in the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long, and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and punt the football.
After the turnover, here's Herbert. And he'll find his man on the out route. That's Allen. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
4 yards the pickup, first down. The Chargers at 10-2 on the year. They've gone a full couple of months now since their last loss. Winners of 8 in a row.
And we always talk about how a team has to play complementary football in order to really be a good squad. But I think in this league, if your offense isn't playing really well as this one is, you're not going to run off this kind of a streak.
Herbert off of play action. Escaping the pressure right. They finds his target, Allen. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. Give him 30 yards there. But one thing's for sure, they're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, what are we going to do to put a man on him? The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher treats pitching a game.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. A great play there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Chargers have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Oh, I was just about to say he had missed an extra point all season, but there it is. His first miss, no good. Frustration after the PAT miss. Hill is going to take it out of the end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
On 2nd and 7, Tua fighting a safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. And that nearly intercepted. Boy, for a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. But instead, it's 4th down.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, L.A. Austin Eckler, his 12th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Chargers are able to add on to their first half lead. Slide for the PAT. And that stretches the lead to 27. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. Hill is going to take it out of the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And they are back down to 500 following the loss last week. Consistency has been a real issue for them so far.
Brandon, you almost don't know what team is going to show up every week. I mean, there's no consistency with this ball club at all, and if we feel that way, I know it frustrates the coaching staff, and it also has to frustrate the key leaders in the locker room. They got to figure out how to get coordinated.
Meanwhile, Tua's throw is caught here by Anderson. His first catch, good for 16 and a first. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Tua now on first down. Oh, and Tua going to be intercepted for the 3rd time. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. Well, there are several factors at play for why they face this deficit right now, Charles, but well, that's now 3 interceptions that he has thrown and just giving the football away. Pretty careless here in the opening half.
Yeah, I know that all of our parents taught us to share as youngsters, but in this game, you don't want to share with the other team. Keep it for yourself. Keep it for your team. Got to cut down on all of those throws, those errant passes, if they hope to get back into this game.
The Charger drive about to get going. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
First down, and they stick with Eckler. 125 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I'd keep going back to him.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert steps away. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. A big play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Chargers will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. Hill is going to take it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And going deep for Hill.
This nigga here.
For the 4th time today. Picked up by Asante Samuel Jr. And the Chargers will take over possession here up at the 44. Charles, they're so close to halftime there. You throw the interception. Not only that, you do give it to them in plus territory as well.
Yeah, they were pushing real hard to try and get something more on the board on their side of the ledger right before the half. Looking at it with 20/20 hindsight, though, might have been better to hand it off a few times, hoping to get something to break instead of putting the ball in the air and, of course, putting the ball in jeopardy.
So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. The Dolphins down on the scoreboard, but they'll have it first as we get going in this third quarter. Hill is going to take it out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because, yes, they were totally ineffective in the first half. But we've seen many games that have flipped around in the second half. It all starts with this drive right here. They get something good going, put some points on the board, they begin to have hope.
Sebastian Joseph Day breaking through for the sack.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
3rd and long. They'll look to throw. That's going to back them up almost a full 10 yards. It's going to be a loss of 9 officially, and it's 4th down. The Dolphins will send out the punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And it's fielded at the 34. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Chargers will be set up pretty well as they take over in great field position.
Wow.
Eckler now between the tackles. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Herbert now. Finds the open man. It's Mike Williams. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Up the middle with Eckler. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 134 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. On 1st and 10, Herbert. That's complete to the tight end, Everett. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here. They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. Here's Eckler. And he'll get it down this time to 17. Gain of just a yard, but it's a 1st down. Play action. It's Herbert. Rolling to his right. And find Everett there complete. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and it's 2nd down. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him, and what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on the
Damn, this motherfucker here.
Just keep mixing it up, giving different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal. They go back to the ground now with Eckler. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. Give him 4 on the carry there at 2nd and goal.
When you look at the geography we're staring at, this part of the field, don't you always think of big backs carrying the football, bruisers trying to pound it in instead?
And he takes it over for a Charger touchdown. Austin Eckler, his 2nd touchdown of the game, 17th on the year. And the Chargers continue to pour it on. They go up by 40 now. CD, there didn't seem to be much resistance there down near the goal line.
Yeah, what I saw there, not a real good job of matching up defensively because to me, they look like they were just in their base 3-4 package. You need bigger bodies in there in a goal line type situation. The 3-4-5 between the 20s, but not down here when you're guarding your end zone.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. Hill is going to take it out of the end zone, the 27-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even at the 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
To try again after the sack. Tua. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up to that, partner, because they forced good turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
On 3rd and long, it's Tagovailoa. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
His impatience has to be bubbling over, trying to find a way to get his team to the end zone for the first time. He did find a way to break, contain, and get outside to buy his receivers a little extra time, but the connection couldn't be made on that throw.
And the punter Bailey on now as he sends this one away. Fielded just inside the 20. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments to prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. Eckler going to get it again on 2nd down. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. On the screen, this is Eckler. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Charger first down.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide, and these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
They'll run out of the gun with Eckler. 149 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like he's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
And he'll be brought down right on the 50, a gain of 3.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Play action this time for Justin Herbert. That's going to be complete to his tight end, Everett. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 26. The handoff, it's Eckler. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3. And it's 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
Second down at 7. This is a counter play. Eckler, they're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Out of the gun, Herbert. A high throw there as as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete. Well, up big here in the fourth quarter, up really big. That pass and incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points, but they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have in their playbook, and they still want to run it efficiently.
Field goal unit and Joey Sly now. This from 42 yards out. Sly able to put this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he sees his.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficits. Just silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Tua. His pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess it's everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided it. It's been ugly from the get-go. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. It's Eckler again. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Well, praise had to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Victory formation time for the Chargers. They take a knee. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. Well, they could just run this clock out, but here is the field goal unit on 4th down. He hit his first. Now this from 43. Put this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. So they got the turnover started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. Goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. Looking to pass. Tua. And that is going to be incomplete as he let him a bit too much. Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
To throw again on second down. Tua. He's going to let it fly. Another interception. Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. And the Chargers going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. Guys, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, it hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other side, and now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And the Dolphins come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. So this one's over. It's in the win column.